Hello everyone, welcome. We're gonna have a very fun GrudgeDOR match today as soon as I finish getting this layout set up. This is actually gonna be a GrudgeDOR match between Yuka and Azuma. And it's gonna be a little bit different from normal. I'll explain that in just a second once I finish getting this set up here. I've got a little bit of a freeze. Not sure why. Why is Azuma's not going? Let's reload. Ah, there we go. Alright, and with that, we should be pretty good to swap over, so I will swap over here. I am Zelo, I will be your commentator for this fun little match right here. So this is going to be a bit different from our normal race going on. This is going to be an Aria race, but this is going to be a dance pad race. Both Yuka and Azuma are going to be going at this with dance pad, and I've got a few rules to keep in mind as we do this. So let me go ahead and read what they decided on. So it's going to be just 2 Aria races only. No more than 2. They've got a hard 40-minute time limit per race, and flag plants are going to be on. So I will be keeping track of the flag plants as we go. So Azuma's got a few clears with Dance Pad. Yuka's best on pad is up to 2-2, but he definitely has a lot of knowledge in this game, and I think he's very capable of setting new PB, maybe even getting some wins right here. So we're going to see how Yuka does. But that's going to take care of everything for this. Both on illegal Zoom. Well, you know what? I think it's been 2 years, or 2 weeks since then. Yeah, you can hop in, Saga. It's been 2 weeks since the main season. I think we can allow some illegal Zoom for this. I'm not gonna mind myself, but this will be fun. So we've got the seed already in. And looks like we're going to be good to go in just a bit here. I hope I'm going to actually be able to like keep track of the flag plants. I need to not fall asleep on those. I think this is actually the first time I've seen Azuma play in a while, so I think he normally does play dance pad. Like even during a season, he'll do that. It's just doing that. Yuka, I really hope your pad works, because it's Aria of all things. If your pad doesn't work on Aria, this isn't good. Only plays on D-pad. Yeah, both racers just getting their pad setup started. It looks like Azuma actually has an SMX pad. Just looks pretty nice with this setup. Yuka looking like some kind of like, looks like a foam pad of some kind. It looks like racers going to be off in just a bit. We've already got the countdown going on, so good luck both racers. We'll see how this happens. But I am absolutely terrified how this is going to go with Aria of all things. And Dance Pad is quite tricky. Okay, it looks like we're fairly synced by like a few seconds. Shouldn't make a difference. So Azuma already getting off to a little bit of a rough start. With Aria, anybody not familiar with Aria, you have a few rules here. You are stuck with the base dagger. You are always stuck at half a heart. And you cannot drop beats. If you drop beats or do any illegal action, you die. Simple as that. Now, thankfully, Aria does start with a potion. So you are allowed 1 free mistake. But, like I said, we're making this a little complicated with playing on Dance Pad. And playing on a Dance Pad for this is very difficult. Because you need to make those quick decisions, but you're going to have to move your entire foot in order to do that. And that could be really critical. Like, right there, Yuka hesitating for just a bit and missing and dying to the Gorgon by skipping beats. So Azuma looking like we set up this Leprechaun. Thankfully did not get stopped by the water ball right there. So Azuma getting an early start, getting the Leprechaun a little bit of gold. Looking around a little bit. We definitely want some items to handle all this. Gonna check this barrel out too. It's got an apple. Food is not the most useful thing on Aria. You can use it for a little bit of invincibility frames, but I imagine using items on Aria is a little bit awkward. Yuka having a little bit of trouble getting this set up here. Gonna go ahead and just take the gold off the Earth Dragon. And Azuma's gonna go and check the shop out. It's got glass armor and a shield scroll, both very useful. So we can just either tank enemies with the shield scroll, and the glass armor provide 1 hit of protection right there. So Yuka gonna be the first to get down to 1-2, but Azuma not too far behind. Oh, we've got a Torch of Foresight and a back. Foresight being really good. Like, we don't have trap. I mean, I guess you can map off the traps, which is nice. But since we can't take trapdoors, it's a little less useful. That being said, a torch is always good. Oh, Yuka finding the grenades in the hidden chest in 1-2 right there. Grenades being very useful for Aria, as we don't get a whole lot of damage since we can't get new weapons. So our only source of damage being either damage ups or extra items like grenades. And unfortunately, Yuka going down, just hesitating on there. Azuma going to use a bomb to clear out most of the health on the metronome right there. Smart move. Going risky with that dagger throw. Grabbing the grenades, but we've got a bit of a scary setup right here. Looks like we're going to be able to dance around this skeleton slot and get their dagger back. Yuka didn't die too far in, so going to be able to make his way back, so it's okay. I was checking out the arena here. We've got some pretty good items. I'd probably take the boots. You want the extra damage. Oh, unfortunately, jumping right into the Harpy. Oh, double jumping into the Banshee. Not Harpy, Banshee. Oh, back to 1-1 right there. But Yuka losing the potion already. Yeah, Yuka using a second to stretch. It's going to be important to note that we are playing on Dancepad, and fatigue is going to come into effect. You were thinking, oh, it's probably only quarter notes. No, when you have to like make very twitchy moves in order to make decisions quickly, that fatigue's really going to add up. Oh, Yuka going down right there, dropping that beat. So fatigue is going to be an issue, especially as we get farther into these races. So both players probably going to take a few beats at the beginning of each floor just to set themselves up, not only in where to go, but also get their energy. Oh, Azuma getting frozen by the Gorgon and losing the Leprechaun. Gonna bomb it out. We didn't need our base shovel anyways. That's okay. Oh, this is a nasty swarm. Oh, Azuma losing the potion right there and just hesitating there. This is just not been a very safe start for either player. There's been some nasty combinations between water balls, mage electric balls, and everything else in between. I guess I should note who had the first flag plant, so we'll just put an asterisk there. There we go. So Yuka was the first down into 1-2. Oh, Yuka! It might be a pad issue. We're not sure. It's hard to play on a foam pad. Like something like this, you really want something very solid to step on. If it's foam, it's pretty easy to either slip or just end up mistapping a note because of the foam slipping. So it's really, really tough for Yuka to do stuff, and he's doing a great job, but it's going to be tough to just not make those kinds of mistakes and just have to be really careful with your footwork. All right, Yuka setting up here for the Leprechaun. Nope, bailed on it. Oh, and just hesitated a little bit too much right there. I think for a race like this, we probably want to go more safety and just clear enemies out one at a time. Get your flag plant as far as you can, because it's going to be very unlikely to get super, super far in this run. With just not only is Aria Dancepad already kind of hard and stressful, but now you've also got the stress of you're playing against another person, and that pressure can be huge. So Azuma's in 1-2 right now again. Yuka going down right there, getting a little bit stuck. Azuma's got enough gold for a potion right here, but getting a little spooked by this metronome. Handles the skeleton war, like that skeleton army nicely. Yeah, you can have a lot of trouble getting out of 1-1 right now. I don't know if his pad's just not very good or if there's something else going on. Looking like he's going to reset a bit. Thankfully, Zone 5 not being a super fast tempo, so at least we can kind of ease ourselves back in as we go. So Azuma, that was actually down to 1-3, so Azuma's going to be the first to get down there. So we found some Explorer's Boots, which are going to help take out those pesky water balls. We don't have to deal with them anymore. And we also found a free scroll. Looks like we've also found a glass shop. Could throw for this and get the jaw. We're just going to buy the glass shovel, it looks like. I imagine trying to kill for the glass jaw is a little tricky, because you have to make some really quick movements that could be like one beat adjustments. Nice use of the free scroll right there. Get the situation under control. Just going to dance around everything. Very nice, popping into 1-4 for Azuma. And first boss is going to be Coral Rift. Unfortunately, we don't have a bomb, so Azuma's going to have to do this the long way. And jumping right into Coral Rift right there, not realizing we couldn't do that. It's like, that's why, even if you want to be a little bit fancy, you still got to look at the screen and make sure you're not accidentally walking into something. And unfortunately, Azuma just jumping right into the head. So Azuma got the flag plant for now. We'll see if Yuka can catch up, get over to Coral Rift. Probably don't want to check that glass shop this time. If all we're going to do is just take the shovel. Especially since we did find a pickaxe in this 1-1, so pickaxe would be more than good enough for our purposes. Oh, Azuma getting hit by the leprechaun. Got a little spooked by that skeleton, but could have just kept hitting the skeletons there and just let the lightning take care of it. So Yuka's down a potion. Picking up those grenades, though, those will help speed things up. Azuma has not taken the grenades, and I think those would have really, really helped. Azuma getting a little spooked here. Nice setup for that kill. So down to the 1-3 flag plant for Yuka. That was a superb setup there that we didn't have to worry about moving at all. Just was right next to the exit stairs. Azuma taking a hit, losing the potion, going down again. See if Yuka checks the shop. Yeah, that's where the free scroll and the boots were. Yuka's definitely going to pick those up. And if Yuka's watching, Yuka knows that Coral Rift is the first boss, so we could either use grenades for a fast kill. Oh, but going down! Oh, just got spooked. And went down. Gotta really watch that footwork there. Yeah, we had a missed beat. Probably had a double tap. Like, Yuka having a really bad pad disadvantage. So Azuma still keeping the lead via flag plant, farming up that leprechaun. Yeah, Azuma's farming, helping out, getting the glass armor and the shield scroll. We probably want to try that arena again and try and get the... what was it? Strength boots? Yeah, it was strength boots in the arena. Because Aria benefits a lot from extra strength since we don't get extra weapons. So any strength ups are very valuable. And those that normally have like huge disadvantages like glass jaw, they don't matter anymore. So any kind of damage up is very welcome. Yuka handling this swarm very nicely here. A little bit scary. Setting up the metronome. Very nice. I didn't know that if you were on the stairs that the metronome wouldn't be able to spawn there. I mean, that makes sense, but I'd never actually set that up. Very good knowledge. Yuka really showing great knowledge there. Also, not too far behind on this run back. Yuka losing that potion, though. Gonna grab the items out of the 1-3 shop again. Oh, no, we can't. We don't have the money. Oh, and Yuka going down, just hesitating, tinking that. Yeah, it's a good way to handle a metronome like that. rather than having to have it teleport after every beat. Azuma handling that very nicely, though. Trying to see if we want to take this arena or not. I'd say you take the arena, get the strength. The strength is a huge help. Okay, using the shield scroll to keep it safe. That's fair. So now we've got our glass armor still intact. Now we've got 2 damage on our dagger, which is really good for Azuma. Now Azuma probably remembers that Coral Rift is the first boss. So probably want to hold on to this bomb here since we already used up our scroll. Unless we're going to take the free scroll out of the shop here. Also losing that glass armor, but that's okay. As long as we're not losing the potion. It's fine. Hey, what's up, F10? Yeah, it's dance pad time. Oh, Azuma taking the explorers, but we just left our strength boots behind. There was no point in fighting that arena if so. And I really think that you want to take those strength boots because we don't have any other damage up. This is just going to make fights take longer and actually make them a lot less safe. Yeah, Azuma losing that potion right there, getting spooked. Yuka handling that metronome nicely in 1-2 again. Skipping out on the arena, though. I'm not sure if Yuka has noticed that arena might be a little bit scared to go for one with the pad setup. Azuma down to Coral Rift again. Azuma setting up that bomb kill very nicely. Nice, easy, flawless right there. Yeah, Yuka not using beat bars. It's okay, as long as he's actually got sound. If he didn't have sound, I'd be concerned. Okay, Azuma checking black right there. Getting the damage up that they desperately needed again, so... Azuma down, the first one down to 2-1. And we've got a little bit of damage here. Yuka going down, just a little spooked. Missing that beat right there. Yeah, it looked like it was just a double register. The pad really giving problems for Yuka. Azuma taking this 2-1 very safe right here. I don't blame him. Zone 4 being the fastest zone in the game, aside from like death metal. Definitely want to take that as safe as possible. And Aria does get reduced enemy counts in all of her zones, but it's still a lot to deal with. Oh, and Azuma just jumping right into a Blade Master, and down he goes. Yeah, both players really struggling throughout this early game right here. Oh, I was very happy that Yuka did not jump the wrong way. I was very concerned Yuka was just going to jump the wrong way and get caught by the Evil Eye. So both of them back in 1-1. Neither of them are definitely screen watching though. Like, Yuka's not picking up that pickaxe that Azuma keeps getting. That pickaxe would be really useful for Yuka. Give yourself a little bit more mobility or more abilities to just buffer off of walls if you need to, because you really need the buffering with Aria. Yuka making Duke for now though. Nice grenade on Yuka's side. Take out the metronome. Keeps that nice and safe. And just gonna head straight for the exit, it looks like. Azuma gonna go ahead and grab the Torture Walls and the pack right there, which is actually really good in this case because we can keep both the free scroll and the shield scroll that are in Zone 1. So that's a really nice thing to have. Azuma picking up the grenades finally. Probably finally saw those. Very useful for Aria. Both players having a pretty good run back here. Yuka a little lost, trying to clear out some more enemies. Not sure if he wanted more gold or if he was just got a little lost. Oh, tapping the beat right there. This is looking a little scary. Manages to clear everything out. Got to get around this mage though. Alright, Yuka finally being down to 1-4. Gonna go after Coral Rift. Azuma had one skeleton party right there. Not sure what happened on his side. I saw a bomb go off. Yuka finishing up Coral Rift, no problem. So down into 2-1. Not checking any chests though. surprisingly not taking even the damage up from the Gi, especially when we have no armor. This is an odd choice. So I guess Yuka's just going to go ahead and just push here, but with only 1 damage, this is going to be really rough. Yeah, Yuka speedrunning, but how are you going to speedrun with no damage on Aria? Unless you really, really, really want to go up and try and get the funny boots. Yuka going to go ahead and pop that free scroll. Going to go ahead and be able to jump down and just into 2-2 and take the lead. So Yuka with the stronger flag plant now. Oh, but goes down! Oh, unfortunately goes right down, right as we found a bunch of bombs. You can sub 9 low percent, but it's more a case of getting ahead of your opponent that's the concern. And for that, you want safety in this race. Like, anytime you have a really unusual control setup, you really want to prioritize safety. Anyways, speaking of safety, Azuma taking the strength boots this time. Using that to clear out the Minotaur much faster and easier. As well as the Gold Mage. So Azuma looking pretty good right here. The fake Potino. Don't ask me. I don't know why they're doing Aria. I just commentate. I just do the talkie. So Azuma having no problem with Coral Rift again. Yuka losing that potion. Alright, Azuma's up to 3 damage now that we've got the Gi and the boots. So looking a lot better for this Zone 4. We don't have goo protection though, so goo's going to be a little bit of an issue, but as long as we play things safe, shouldn't be a problem. Well, we found a ring of ham right there. Might as well pick it up. There's no point in not. Can always transmute it if we need to. Oh, we got a Crown of Teleportation. That's an extra hit. Might not protect against missed beats, but 1 extra hit might not be a bad idea. Yuka getting a little stuck there. It looked like the zombie was blocking the only path away from the dragon. Yeah, Azuma playing this very safe right here. Just gonna take everything out one at a time. Oh, this Harpy. They're ending it at 40 minutes for each race, and then we're gonna have 2 races. I'm trying to make sense of it myself. It's hard to see from here. Azuma choosing to skip out on the floaty boots. Gonna keep the 3 damage, it looks like. So Azuma finally down to 2-2. So Yuka got the flag plant into 2-2 first, so Azuma needs to at least get into 2-3 in order to have a stronger flag plant. We're well equipped to deal with it, though. We do have a potion on deck. We've got a good pickaxe to be able to dig stuff. So Azuma looking pretty good here. There's the ham from our Ring of Ham. Oh, popping the Crown of Teleportation, but see, that's why it's useful. Thankfully, all the enemies are on the other side of the map now, so just got to play this a little bit safe, but don't have to worry about too much. Got to watch out for that pig that's on the other side, though. Yuka's still having trouble getting out of Zone 1 again. Yeah, looking at Azuma's Dancepad screen, it's correct. It's normalized. It's just it looks kind of weird because you can't see the up arrow from the camera perspective. Anyways, that puts Azuma the first into 2-3, so now he's got the stronger flag plant. And Azuma really pushing here. Yuka struggling to get out of Zone 1. At the very least, apparently Yuka's PB for Aria Dancepad was 2-2, so at very minimum, he's matched his PB. Oh, I saw Azuma losing the potion right there. Gotta play a little bit careful if we want to keep this flag plant streak going. Playing very safe, dealing with everything one at a time, using the wall is very smart. More ham. The Ring of Ham really putting in the work right now. I wish they could send that ham to me. Azuma backing up, trying to deal with this Banshee here. Very nicely handled. Probably just going to make a dash for the exit. Thankfully we have the luck ring, so I don't have to worry about bad. So Azuma down to 2-4, getting into Conga 2. Conga 2 being a little bit scary, though. This is not a good layout. We don't have any bombs to speed this up. We do have the pickaxe, though, so we could dig Conga out. Yuka looking like he's finally off to a better start this time. But Azuma deals with Conga no problem. See what we get out of chests here. Probably want us to check purple for a spell or a better ring. We've got piercing. Piercing's good. So we got 3 damage piercing on Azuma's side. Going into 3-1 now. So yeah, Yuka's got a lot of work to do to catch up. We've only got about 17 minutes left in this race to try and extend that flag plant or for one player to clear. And Azuma's looking pretty good for it. But we don't have any more protection either, and this ice can be a little sketchy. Oh, Yuka going down again. Yeah, Azuma's probably going to try his best to just skip all the ice if possible, so that we don't forget that we can't slide properly. Nice use of the throwing star to stop the Minotaur from getting away right there. This is looking a little weird, though. I'm not liking this setup, though, but handles it nicely. Probably wants to check this shop so we can conjure some armor. It's a Shriner. There is a glass shrine. We don't have any bombs, unfortunately, so we're not going to be able to glass that. I mean, we could take the glass shrine, but then we would lose all our damage. So it's a tough choice to make, and I think, honestly, you'd skip it at this point, because 1 damage going from Zone 3 onwards is not the situation you want to be in. So Azuma just going to go ahead and skip out on the Shriner there. That's right, you would get Jaw. You would have 2 damage, so it wouldn't be as bad. That being said, what do you value more? 2 damage plus glass armor or 3 damage at this point? Because I think I personally prefer the 3. That poor skeleton trapped by the sarcophagus, though. Trapped forever. Azuma making it down to 3-2, extending that flag plant lead. Oh, you could lose it. You could really dropping those beats heavily. Just not sure if the pad's working correctly. It looked like the steps were fine. And it looked like it just misfired several times. So Yuka having a really hard time trying to get caught up here. I was trying to lure this Yeti away. This Yeti's not being kind. Alright, gets the Yeti kill right there. Probably want to check this. I don't know if that's an actual transmog or not. Probably not. Probably was just a wall that we had to buffer dig. Oh, and Azuma goes down! I didn't see what happened. I was looking over at Yuka's side. Looks like it was just a misbeat. It just hesitated too much right there. It looks like trying to decide what to do and just missed the beat entirely. So Azuma's got a full zone flag plant ahead of Yuka. Yuka only has 14 minutes to make that up. And Yuka's been really struggling to get out of Zone 1 now. So Yuka has to play really smart. It's definitely not a time where you try and play fast. This is a time where you try and play safe. Get whatever equipment you need. and just make sure you can get through the run. So you could go ahead and pick up those grenades. Azuma farming up for the charm and 1-1 again. And honestly, I think if you're Yuka, you go ahead and take that arena as well and get the very needed boots of strength. Nice grenade kill. But you could just skip it out on that arena. You could try to steady himself, it looks like, just taking a few seconds to rest. He has been going for almost 30 minutes. Like, both these players just knocking on the pad for 30 minutes straight. And it might not seem like it's tiring, but when you're making twitch movements to make those decisions at the last second, it's going to add up. And judging by the way Yuka's playing from his camera view, he might actually be playing this no bar, which makes this even more stressful. Azuma getting a little bit swarmed by these skeletons here. Oh, okay. Manages to handle it alright. I was a little scared there. Oh, Yuka going down to miss beats! Not sure what happened there. All I saw was misbeat grenade into misbeat. Oh, it's so rough. Yuka still has a little bit of time to try and get into 3-2. Azuma taking the arena and getting the boots again. I'm gonna have to get in on this sometime. Just get it on Dancepad, but I'm not gonna rewire my pump pad for this. Gonna have to actually get a working pad. It would be amusing though to play Pump Revolution in this setting. There's Azuma clearing out the 1-3 exit room, no problem here. Gonna be back into Coral Rift right there. Azuma setting up a very nice grenade kill. So the question is he going to take the gi this time, or is he going to look for something else? Looks like he's checking purple. He wants to probably check purple right here. Deciding. Looks like he's going to take the gi after all, so he's just going to value the 3 damage over any protection. And it's a little rough because he has no protection left. We lost the potion. Yuka has roughly 10 minutes to get to 3-3. So we'll see if he can do it. And that's assuming Azuma does not increase his flag plant lead. Oh, check out the shop in 2-1. Getting some spiked ears. So now we're up to 5 damage for Azuma. So everything's going to die quick. Azuma taking the long way around, though. Going to go ahead and grab that Ring of Luck. Azuma really pushing in on this, the 2-1 here. It's looking a little dicey. Use that freeze scroll to clear things up a bit. Gonna hopefully get to these enemies and pop them before we run out. Uses the grenade there. Oh, but jumps right into the Golem. Oh, gotta be careful. So unfortunately, Azuma going down. We've got roughly 9 minutes left in this race right here. Not a whole lot of time left for Yuka. So Yuka's really got to push if he wants to get to 3-3 and get this flag plant sorted. It's like, I think if you're in Yuka's position, you fight for that arena. Like, you really need the damage at this point. Yuka trying to rest, just get his bearings here, but time's running down. Azuma going down again to a missed beat. Missed beats have been really, really prevalent this race. Yuka skipping that arena again. Got about 8 minutes. I know this seat hasn't been the absolute kindest, but gotta make do with what you got. Oh, Yuka losing that potion there, looking like that pad double tapped. Grabbing the free scroll and the boots out. Nice grenade on the Minotaur there. Nice use of the Gorgon to buffer as well. So Yuka back down to Coral Rift now. Azuma making that run back again, grabbing both the shield. Well, looks like we're just going to take the shield. Didn't have the money for the glass armor this time. Nice grenade kill. Okay, Yuka definitely needs the damage. We have to take black here. Hey, what's up, Kyler? What's up, Chef? Alright, Yuka can definitely make this work. But this is probably like the last significant run we do because time's running down. We only have a little over 6 minutes before this race is considered over. Yuka trying to catch his breath here, but time's really running down. Oh, and immediately misses beat. Oh, really unfortunate. I don't think Yuka has enough time to like make up the difference at this point. We'll see what he can do. There's still a little bit of time. Azuma might also just try and push as well and try and extend that lead, but unfortunately missing the grenade toss and getting hit by the metronome there. Yeah, enemies that move towards you, you definitely want to scoot back a little more than you normally would expect to when you're using grenades. This Evil Eye really going for Yuka here. Wants to be a tag buddy. Hey, Chef, I don't know. You can ask them yourself. I just do the talkie-talkie. Maybe they just thought Grandma could get some exercise. I mean, who knows how long Grandma's been dead down there. She could probably, like, use a little bit of legwork. Alright, Yuka unfortunately losing the potion right here on was it 1-3? Yeah, it's 1-3. Eli Dancepad sounds obnoxious just because you're hitting the bomb combination over and over and over and over. So I hope you like your jumps if that's the case. Alright, back to Coral Rift for Yuka. We got about 4 minutes left. Azuma getting a nice grenade kill on that metronome. I would not dare try bracketing in a situation like this. Oh, missing a beat! Oh, missing that beat right there. Alright, looks like Yuka's going to try and give it another try. Yeah, bracketing would be hitting 2 arrows with 1 foot. It's a pretty common dance game technique, but I would not recommend it for something like this. I would not recommend it. Especially on Aria of all things, because if you miss that bracket, it's not simply a missed beat. It means you're probably dead because you just dropped your potion. Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like Yuka's dot effing throwing in the towel right there. So it looks like win's gonna go to Azuma with the 3-2 flag plant there. Eli ult. That's such a bad idea. So yeah, Yuka's calling it there. So Azuma's gonna take game 1. Take race 1 right there. So GG's to both racers. Good job, Azuma, getting that flag plant. For a double tempo, yeah, if you were going to do something, like by the time you get to death metal on double tempo, you'd probably want a bracket situation, but even then, I would just be like, no, I'm going to play on keyboard. I do not dare try a double tempo character on a dance pad. Fitness is good. Fitness is very good. In fact, we will be having more fitness after this next race. Racers discussing if they want to do other characters. Looks like we're going to stay with Aria, but Yuka needs a 15-minute break. See if we can just have a fun chat while we're waiting. So we'll do a quick 15-minute break here. Yes, Yuka, you're definitely getting your workout. I'll be getting mine after y'all. Yes, remember to hydrate instead of dihydrate. And speaking of which, I'm going to get water myself, so I will be back in just a second. Alrighty, y'all. I am back. Had a quick bathroom break. Got my water. Both racers taking a quick break. It looks like they're going to stay on Aria. So we will have more Aria for our next race, which will be the second out of R2. And I spy we've got a nice seed coming up next, so perfect. I do want to remind everyone that this is GrudgeDOR. Where you can challenge anybody else, not even necessarily in the current season, to anything you want. Not something for me, but something for everybody else to do. And this is our basically our last GrudgeDOR day, unless people are going to GrudgeDOR for over the weekend, because starting tomorrow we have the playoffs, and I guess I can go over that real quick before we start our next race. So So let me see what the current status of that is, 'cause I am actually not sure myself. So let me pull up Discord, and let's take a look at everything here. Playoffs. Okay, so we finished all of the group races right here. So it looks like the top 8. If I could actually bring up the bracket, would be nice. So our top 8 for the main season for Cadence Playoffs, we've got Spoody, Abu, Tang, Mora, BGM, Tough, Biggie, that's 7. And we're still waiting on Ravio versus Akane to decide the last match and last racer coming from Group A. So once Ravio versus Akane is figured out, then we will have our top 8, and playoffs will begin tomorrow. So that's the current status of that. And we did have our Melody playoffs last weekend. I unfortunately was not able to watch that because I was involved with lovely Transpop. So that was a fun adventure in itself, but it was very tiring. But it looks like the finals were Spoody versus Mora, with Spoody taken first and Mora taken second. So GG's to both of them. And GG's to all the top 8 in Melody, because it looks like it was a very tough bracket. So that's the state of playoffs right now. Both players right now just still taking some time to break. We can watch the playfields just bob up and down for no reason as they take their break. Okay, so I just learned, if I'm looking in the race room, and it's like I can't send messages, but I can see that I can react with any emotes that are already sent to messages. Yet the moment I try and react, my vote is kicked off. I'm pretty sure it's just the death screen. It should not be during normal gameplay. It's just to make you ponder your life decisions as as it bobs up and down, just silently shaking its head of, why are you doing this? That's what I think it is anyways. Now that's a good question that would need testing. But judging by the rate, it's probably just fixed. Also, I spy cat. At least I think it's cat. It is an animal of some kind on Azuma's side. Is it cat or dog? Or something else? I cannot tell. It looks like a doggy. It is now a funny cat. It looks like Azuma's animal of choice will be doing the next round. Very Dougie. Hi, Mora. Very cute Dougie. More emotes, yes. Perfect emotes. Oh dear, I've got a Spoody raid. Welcome in everybody from Spoody's Raid. I'm casting Yuka and Azuma, and they are doing races on Aria, but they're doing dance pad races. Oh, there's the Spencer scream. I hear it. Dutch Charles is world record. I want to see Charles. My wife and I didn't get to see Charles last weekend because we were doing the marathon stuff. Anyways, both racers are taking a short break. Azuma clutched out about his own lead flag plant right there for the first Aria race. So we're only doing 2 races here. So the second one, once we're done with this break, we will get started. But anyway, Spoody, how was your stream? Hope Cadence practice went okay. We were actually discussing the current state of the playoffs bracket. Azuma doing a little practice on the loot right here, getting the perfect quick kill. That's really impressive for Dancepad. Very nice. Hi, Stealth. Just really testing that consistency right there. I really appreciate that. Just 2 in a row. I say 2 in a row, but unfortunately dying before the stairs does not count. Unfortunately, the run is not over until you put yourself onto those stairs, as I have learned by dying to blood shovel digging on Cadence. Alright, I was going to go ahead and get the seed in. Yuka's still probably just taking his break. Yuka probably does not have a bar to play with, so it's making his setup a little more challenging, especially with whatever pad he's using. It looks like a foam pad. And that foam pad was giving him quite a bit of trouble last race, so hopefully it's going to calm down a little bit. But if you want to play Dance Pad for specifically Necrodancer, I do recommend some kind of metal pad that will not misfire if you like put your foot off of it. It's just, material is just so important. I think it's a foam pad. Welcome in, Winston. We are doing great here. We are watching 2 very skilled gamers try and steer Grandma around using methods that should not be discussed. Oh, what's up, Scootsman? Like, it was definitely very risky to attempt this with a foam pad, but Yuka managing to get up to 2-2. He said in the race chat that 2-2 was his PB for Dance Pad Aria, so matching that in like a race setting isn't bad, and he's definitely on pace to be able to improve that PB in the middle of this next race. Alright, looking like Yuka's getting set up now. The other 2... Why do you say it like that, then? Okay, scratch what I just said. Everything is a lie. Just for that, I should put you at -1 loots. Just so you have to work at it. Anyways, there's our nice seed right there. So we will get started in just a bit. Both players hopefully a little more fresh and ready for the race 2 here. So this will be the final race that we are doing for this set. And just want to reiterate the rules that they set up. 2 races only. We're going to have a 40-minute time limit. We're going to have a flag plant system in place right here, where the first person to make it down to a floor, your flag plant is there. Whoever has the farthest flag plant at the end of the 40 minutes wins. Or if both players have the same level flag plant, then whoever reached that level first wins. Now, it really would be amazing to see a clear here from either player, but we probably won't see that happen considering the difficulty of all this, hence the flag plant system in place. But good luck to both racers. We got the countdown going. We're going to start off with race 2 here. And it's only about a few second difference for each player on my side of the screen, so not too big a thing to worry about. Oh, we actually started at roughly the same time. Nice. That worked out nicely. Alright, so both players off. We'll see if this seed's a little more friendly, because the last seed had some good tools, but not as many as we'd like. We've got an immediate 1-1 Conjurer. Might be able to farm a little bit of gold here and take something, and an early Ring of Might or something would be really nice to have. Oh, you could bopping that Evil Eye right there, losing the multiplier and the potion. But Yuka farming up right here. Let's see what Yuka takes. Gonna go for a ring. And we've got Ring of Piercing, which is very good for later. Oh, but unfortunately dying coming out of that Conjurer. Now Azuma has some choices here. He could choose to either take that Ring of Piercing, or he could choose to go for something else. And we're one coin short of opening that red chest. And red chests on Aria are actually generally somewhat decent. Often leave red chests in like early Zone 1 having like spiked ears or something really good. Azuma's going to check it out. It is a pickaxe. Pickaxe is actually quite good for Aria because we do want to be able to dig buffer stronger walls. So the pickaxe definitely going to be putting in some work here. And picking up the torch as well, so now we have a little bit of mapping. Going to be able to see past these walls, make it a lot less scary. You can have a little bit of trouble setting up into this 1-1 again. But still plenty of time to go. So no big worry. Now Azuma does need to farm some gold if we want to take advantage of that Conjure, but it looks like we're just going to skip out on it. Going to try and deal with these enemies here. Looking around, probably going to see if we can find a little bit more gold. Look, I see a skeleton up there, so it looks like there's going to be enough enemies to farm with the gold if we need it. Oh, we've got a red chest over here in this little room off to the side. Could have something quite useful. Looks like you could just drop straight down to 1-2. Just grab the torch from the shop and left. You could losing the potion. Finding a bomb, but losing the potion's pretty off early on. Azuma finding a torch. Actually taking the weaker torch, surprisingly. Gonna go ahead and go for armor. Finds Karate Gi, so we've got an immediate 2 damage. Which is probably a little bit better than taking piercing. You can go ahead and bomb into the shop. It's a pretty bad lock shop with floaties and a heart transplant, neither of which are very useful in this kind of setting. Less aggro, sure, but you're probably just going to want to deal with things one by one anyways. And with Zone 5 wire, I guess it could be useful for later zones, but I guess it's up to them. So you could just, dealing with the Earth Dragon, going to go straight down into a 1-3. You could probably want us to pop this Ice Spirit, but needs to remember what to do for combinations, because I only see letters. Azuma went ahead and popped the Snow Bro up top. Definitely the position most useful in general for the Ice Familiar, just because it's... all your bosses are going to be up from you anyways, and you can always approach other enemies from below, so generally advised to put those on the top side. You can unfortunately getting hit right there, losing the crown, and unfortunately going down to a missed beat. Just got spooked by that metronome right there. I have not been keeping up with the flag plants. I should probably do that. So Yuka was the first down to 1-3. And looks like Azuma into 1-2 right there. Yeah, Azuma looking a lot better though. We've still got our potion on deck. We've got 2 damage. The Snow Bro's deployed. Unfortunately getting hit right there by that skeleton, so losing the potion. Commentator's curse right there. So at least there's, unlike last season, there's at least a pretty good amount of stuff to work with in this Zone 1. Oh, you could going down again to miss beats. So Azuma down to 1-3 now. I'll take that flag point, but Yuka was the first. You could go ahead and farming up this gold. He might choose to check something else in the Conjurer. And I don't think he's screen watching, so he probably doesn't know about the base torch all the way in the top right, or the top left of the map. So we're just going to grab that bright torch. Finding a purple on Azuma's side. We've got some freeze tomes. Definitely want to keep those over the heart transplant. This is all about safety for this match. And freeze tomes definitely keep you safe, as long as you can use them. Yeah, Azuma popping one of those freeze tomes right there. Get a nice easy kill and scoot right into the exit. That's going to take him into Death Metal 1 and start up that flag plant. Oh, but dying the moment we get into the Death Metal fight. Oh, that hurts. It's just the excitement of wanting to just beat someone up there. It's like, I'm going to beat up Death Metal. You get so excited, and then you just step, and it's like, whoops. I guess I got beat up. Only we kept the heart transplant the one time. Okay, maybe heart transplant would be useful for something. That being said, freeze tomes was definitely the better option. So if only we had a pack. Anyways, over on Yuka's side, Yuka's unfortunately lost the potion, but is it already into 1-3? Azuma conjuring that Karate Gi again, so we're going to get that extra damage. Oh, and Yuka going down to miss beat. Looking like he double tapped. If there's one thing that's really difficult about foam pads compared to like a metal arcade pad or such, it's that the pad's going to be completely flat instead of you having raised spots for the non-arrow panels, and that's going to make it a lot more difficult to get off and on consistently. And this is definitely a huge difficulty that Yuka's having with just his dance pad setup. Now it looks like Azuma's his SMX pad, it is a metal pad, but all those panels are generally flush on his side too, so without some modifications. So it looks like he's got some other way of handling it by keeping his foot on a different corner and just using one foot to step around. And hey, whatever works there. I'm losing Azuma for a second. There we go. I thought for a second that the game was skipping and we were gonna get a bunch of missed beats. Because Necrodancer is known to do that. You can get in that spare bomb in 1-2 again. What's in this red chest again? It's the Snow Bro. Oh, jumping straight into the devil, it looks like. You can make it a little bit of a camera adjustment here. Azuma probably doesn't want to use the bomb this time. We know what's in that lock shop and it's not good, so it's probably worth just saving the bomb. Nice job on Azuma's side handling that swarm. Good use of the Snowbro too to keep the dragon locked in place. And now we've got a nice big Leprechaun farm for Azuma. Unfortunately, the Conjurer was already a floor behind, but maybe we can use this for a Transmog or better shop later. So Azuma looking real healthy. Oh, Yuka getting stuck right there, missing some beats and just bopping against the zombie. Yeah, Yuka struggling to get a run started again. Azuma's down to 1-3. Got that pickaxe. Good for buffering. Definitely going to be useful in the next zone. And we've got some damage as well. We do have the crown. We do have the compass. So that's going to give Azuma a little bit of safety and some very nice mapping for later. Yuka accidentally getting into a replay right here. Gonna Looking like we're just do a quick restart. Yeah, it looks like the same layout right there, so we're all good. Azuma having a bit of a trouble with this swarm right here. Lost the potion. Probably needed to put that Snowbro a little bit more to use there to keep the enemies under control. Manages to dance around the remaining enemies and get to the exit there, so we've got Death Metal 1 again. And unfortunately, bopping! Getting a little too, little too excited. I'm not sure why we were going right to begin with. I would have thought we would have wanted to go straight up. maybe Ekim's advice of taking the heart transplant might actually be something to take into account for once. So both players on the same floor. Just interestingly, just right next to each other here. But Yuka getting a little swarmed. Not a good setup with this Gorgon running around. Okay, manages to keep everything away. A little sketchy here. Manages to handle it. That was very scary. Still another 30 minutes left to go in this match. Yeah, I think you're right with like the safety being concerned, and it didn't look like we had those freeze tomes that time either. So probably just want to go ahead and take the heart transplant if we're not going to be using freeze tomes. Might as well take the safety and at least be able to flag plant into zone 2. And now we've got a tune on stream that is not in this category. Perfect. Well, we never know. We did have flag plants into 2-2 and 3-2 last race, so who knows. Azuma farming up again, getting that gi. Got that torch as well, so I'm going to be able to save the rest of that money. Yuka's having a hard time getting out of this 1-1. Surprisingly, Azuma is not taking the Snowbro. Don't know if he's just like wasn't thinking about it or what else. Taking that hit by the Orc though. Oh, and loses beat right there. Back down we go. Looks like Yuka was trying to farm up some gold and just double tapped. I guess I can understand Snowbro, but Snowbro also can help a lot with just keeping stuff at bay, especially where if you just lure just like a couple enemies at a time. Especially good for mini bosses here because the metronomes are scary, but they're easy to keep under control. Looks like Yuka wanted to try and farm up here, but it's a kind of scary group of enemies waiting outside the Conjurer. Yuka gonna go ahead and take the gi. Unfortunately, tapping and missing a beat, losing the potion. Oh, Yuka getting really swarmed there. Enemies just everywhere. I can understand dropping beats when you're scared in that situation because that was not a pretty swarm to look at going into that 1-2 exit room. Azuma doing the smart thing, taking care of enemies above. Doesn't look like we're going to take that heart transplant. So, just going to have to rely on some good taps during death metal. Gonna have this nice farm, though, for this Leprechaun. Alright, Yuka managed to save the potion this time coming out of the Conjure. No double taps. Oh, Azuma tapping that wall! You do not have the pickaxe! You cannot dig that wall! Azuma losing the potion. This is why build awareness is huge, especially if you were doing a run where you get one thing on some runs but not on other runs. You gotta really be careful and check your equipment. So we're going to get the crown, we're going to get that compass. Going to hopefully keep this swarm underway. Probably want to... It might have been a better idea to maybe open up one of those walls at the top and keep them more single file. Because now we've got kind of a swarm pouring up right here. Good bomb on Azuma's side. Weaken that metronome down. So that helps keep him a little bit like wrangled into the corner here. We can get him one at a time. Using the dagger throw. Manages to get it, but no luck. Yuka was catching up, but unfortunately it looks like got swarmed at the 1-3 exit room as well. So Azuma down to 1-4 again. Will we have a death metal kill this time? Let's find out. Looks like a pretty favorable spawn here. We're just going to tap a few times, rack up that Snowbro, and we do have a death metal kill. Azuma going to be able to check one of these chests. Probably want to check something probably purple. And it's only a ring of gold, unfortunately. Not helpful. Taking it for later. But that does let Azuma bring his flag plant to 2-1. Oh. Eggplant 1. There we go. So Azuma taking a quick break. Yeah, Stealth. Snowbro, the freeze beats can stack. So you can just stack them over and over. And just lengthen the freeze time. So Yuka trying to make his way back. Still got about a little over 20 minutes left in this race to try and bring that flag plant up. Azuma pushing ahead on this 2-1. Thankfully has been some fairly empty rooms, nothing huge going on, and having the Snowbro is a big help for the Blade Master as well, because we can cut right through the defenses when they're frozen. So Azuma looking a little better, but unfortunately trapping himself and ended up having to hit a Harpy. I think the only way to save that was to hit the barrel. I think that would have been the only way to save it, and I'm not sure if the Goblin Bomber was nearby. So Azuma back to 1-1, so better flag plant at least, but unfortunately getting a little stuck right there in that hallway as Yuka heads into 1-2. Yeah, this race has been absolutely brutal for both racers. Just the focus and just not accidentally keeling over because you're exhausted. Yuka, this is one hell of a swarm. I am amazed he got out of that in one piece. Oh, but tanking! Looks like he tinked the wall. Did he tink the wall? Something happened. Hold on. No, the Earth Dragon opened that wall up, so it looks like it was just a missed beat. Might have just been spooked. Yuka really trying to push here, but opening up all these enemies, and it's really, really hurting. There's just so many enemies swarming. Still not enough gold to be able to use that Conjure yet. Got to get a few more beats here, and unfortunately losing some of the gold to the walls coming up. But now we've got our 100 gold. Both of them in the Conjure beat for beat at the same time. This is actually really amusing right here. And jumping down into the exit only one beat apart. Very funny. So Yuka catching his breath. Like, he's definitely had to work harder without a bar to be able to hold on to, so definitely don't blame him taking a breath here. Azuma trying to push into that exit room, but this orc is not having any of it. Gonna go ahead and pick up the Snowbro. Probably want to pick up that extra bomb on the other side too. There we go. Bombs definitely being some of the most valuable resources on Aria, just to be able to clear out swarms of enemies, especially when you are forced to do something every beat. Nice job on yuka34, keeping that swarm at bay. Lost the potion at some point though, so looking a little dicey. Oh, getting frozen by the Gorgon. Thankfully, was far enough away from the skeletons, so you could back down to 1-3. Azuma not too far behind on this run back. Oh, and Yuka just dancing around the orc and spooking himself. But Azuma takes a hit as well, loses that potion. Yeah, Yuka probably getting a little bit tired both physically and mentally. That is not a play I'd normally see Yuka make, just bopping into the Gork like that. So the race is definitely taking its toll on him. Azuma releasing a whole bunch of skeletons, losing the crown right there. Thankfully has the Snowbro to back him up. Just going to jump straight into the exit right here. So probably going to see the same strategy right here, just stack the Snowbro beats. Nice, easy, safe setup. So probably going to check black this time. And we got a Boots of Strength this time, so Azuma's up to 3 damage, but no protection. That being said, I hope Yuka was somehow watching, because he would definitely want to go for that over purple, which was Ring of Gold, and Ring of Gold is not good. Whereas the Strength Boots could help out a lot more. Excuse me. We've got some Fireball Tomes for Azuma right here. Very good find. Unfortunately, the input is up left, so it could be a little awkward to use. Good, would be good for this exit room coming up, though, if we stay on the left side here. This exit room is really nasty, though. Thankfully, there are some glass slippers that we can grab for a second. Got a backpack. Looks like we got a Nightmare digging straight through anyway, so thankfully worked out. Didn't have to do anything too tricky to get past it, because there's all this goo on the floor. So Azuma taking care of it nice and safe. Released a whole bunch of skeletons here out of this closet. Yuka already back up to 1-3. Has the potion this time and grabbing the crown for some extra safety. Very nice. Azuma down to 2-2 now, extending that flag plant lead. So both players doing really nice on this run back for both of them. Yuka having to back up here. This is a little bit scary. Oh, accidentally hit start. It's going to be hard to get back on beat without dropping. Yeah, drops 1 beat. Thankfully gets back on. But that was a costly hit. Azuma, with no protection, though, did not have the potion. All we've got is the 3 damage. We do have this free spell, which is really good to have. And we've got this crystal shovel. It looks like both came out of the urn, as Ekam said. I would have never expected to have an urn opened in an Aria Dancepad race, that's for sure. So Yuka up to death metal now. Doesn't have the Snowbro, so gonna have to do this a little bit more scary. And we've got mages everywhere. These Evil Eyes are really packing on the heat. Manages to get death metal in a safe spot. But this Evil Eye's in the way. Thankfully manages to get it. So Yuka extending the flag plant down to 2-1 now. But Azuma going down to 2-3. All this food, so safe. Yes, food is definitely safe on Aria. Definitely very useful. Doing a little bit of dancing here. A little too much dancing. Trying to avoid the Warlock and runs right into the Harpy. You definitely want to take care of stuff if you're in an isolated room in a mode like this. You definitely want to take care of the swarms that are around you first before you try and dig into other stuff. And Azuma just spooking himself right there, trying to avoid the Warlock and let loose the Harpy. And the Harpy just came and smacked him. So this is actually a good chance for Yuka to be able to get out here. Unfortunately, Yuka using the Fear Scroll and the Fear Scroll making that Banshee move away, and he just dropped the beat trying to chase it down, so really hurting there. Yeah, the teleport was good, but unfortunately, using the Fear Scroll to try and get the Banshee to back up actually hurt him, because now he had to try and chase it down. And that just cost him the beats as he just tripped over himself. So Fear Scroll is not really something you want to use unless you are in an extreme emergency. So Yuka probably a bit tired, probably taking a quick second to rest. Still got about 15 minutes to try and extend that flag plant. Azuma taking the hit and losing the Leprechaun right there. We'll see if he has to bomb for it. Is he going to bomb for it? No, he's going to try and dig it out. But Leprechaun's probably going to leave. Nope, manages to get the zap. Luckily manages to get the zap right there. I don't know how many beats he has left, but it looks like he's going to be able to kill it just in time. But does a little bit too much work right there on his pad and ends up spinning out of control and just drops beat and dies. It was a very fancy catch, though, to be able to zap the Leprechaun before it got away. I will give props for that. So both players back on 1-1 again. Still taking the same conjure plays, grabbing that Karate Gi. That extra damage is too valuable. Azuma does have the better flag plant at 2-3 right now, but you could definitely can get to 2-4 with plenty of time to spare. Did that skeleton just go through that wall? Did I see that right? I don't know. Maybe I didn't see that right, but it looked like the skeleton on Azuma's side just went right through that wall. Anyways, Zone 5 just being Zone 5 as always. Yuka are doing a great job. Just keeping everything away. It had Ring of Phasing. Well, we have determined that the rings in this game aren't really rings. They're more like life belts. They're like giant seat belts. And it is a chunky skeleton, so could have just had it on him, and we just didn't see. Not sure what Azuma's trying to set up here, but just managing to deal with the skeleton now. Yuka lost his potion. Cadence only has one finger. Only has one finger, but can wield an axe or a flail or any two-handed weapon. I don't even want to know how you wield a two-handed weapon with one finger on each hand. No, if it's only one finger at all, you can't even... You have one finger total. So your other arm has nothing, just a hand with no fingers. Unfortunately, Yuka going down right there. I was about getting the lep on 1-2. Has an arm socket the weapons click into... Well, then how do you explain Aria? Are you saying Grandma had surgery long ago for this? Like, we have technology now. Anyways, I was about getting to the 1-3 exit again. Gonna just go ahead and just kind of bait everybody into the corner. Swappable. I guess so. Alright, I was about to stacking up the Snowbro beats on this Leprechaun. Or, not Leprechaun, this Metronome. Even my brain's getting fried almost 30 minutes into this race. This is a nasty exit room. Gonna have to back up. Losing the crown. Thankfully still has the potion. Getting it under control, but really wants to use this wire to get everything under control here. Okay, just gonna dance around everything, but that mage is also not in a good spot. Taking care of the orc. Alright, gonna be able to, looks like we're gonna be able to just scoot straight in. Maybe not. This is scary. Yeah, this was too scary. This did not need to happen. Yeah, we are in Zone 5. If you need to deal with a swarm, you are generally best backing up onto the wire and using that to deal with enemies, especially with how closely how densely packed they were. So both players back on 1-1 again as we hit the 30-minute mark of the race. So at least 10 minutes. Azuma with a 2-3 flag plant, meaning Yuka has to get to 2-4 before these 10 minutes are up if he wants to win this race. But having troubles getting a run started. Yeah, Yuka's definitely trying to push here, but it's really working against him because we're getting into these really awful situations with no equipment to deal with enemies. And I think at this point, like, I know we need to get to 2-4, but 10 minutes is plenty of time to get to 2-4 safely. And taking all these deaths is just eating into the time. Azuma getting out of 1-1. Getting that gi out of the Conjurer. So... oh, it looks like Azuma went down to an electric zombie crossing by. Yuka farming up the gold. Gonna need a little bit more gold to be able to get the gi out of the Conjurer again. Good adjustment right there on the skeleton. So we've got enough gold for this. Gonna grab the gi and get out. Oh, double tapping right there, losing the potion, and double tapping again and losing life as the moment we grab the gi. See, karate's deadly even if you're not practicing it. That is the lesson today. Azuma looks like he wants to set up this leprechaun on the Minotaur. Fortunately, one beat off. Needs a little bit more work to make that set up. Yeah, it's tough to dig buffer in this situation. There's not a good convenient wall to do it off of. Well, actually, you'd probably want to stand farther up so you can use the walls that are there. But Azuma not able to keep himself on there. So wasting a lot of time trying to set this up. Oh, and it ended up jumping into the Minotaur, so now we can't even set it up. So Azuma's just going to go ahead and reset off of that. Oh, and we get my favorite 2-3 remix as we go through this. Nice. Alright, we've got about 7 minutes left for Yuka to be able to pull up that, pull up from behind. Has the gold for the gi now, just has to not double tap trying to get out of this, this shop here. There's one other interesting thing about trying to play on a foam pad versus metal. It's harder to tell where you are on the pad because you don't have like a solid feeling of where the panel is. So it's very easy to shift your position on the pad little by little, and then suddenly when you try and step on something, you're not actually on the arrow. So that's definitely an additional difficulty that Yuka's facing right now. Looking good so far. Got that gi. Still got about 6 minutes left here. Nice Earth Dragon kill, no problems there. Getting down back into 1-3. Azuma just going to go ahead and pop that Minotaur off. Grab the needed money, get the Conjurer going. Alright, Yuka lost the potion, so the crown's going to provide a little bit of protection, but not much. Surprisingly, also not taking the compass. I guess he's assuming he's not going to make it to a point where it's going to matter. This is a pretty nasty swarm, though. These skeletons are offset. Going to have to take the compass. Oh, and double tapping and losing the beat. Oh, and that might have sealed it. It's going to be very difficult for Yuka to be able to catch up in the next 5 minutes, to be able to get into 2-4. Like, we'll see what he wants to do here. But he's going to have to really double time it now. Because now time really is a factor for Yuka. Didn't we just listen to this? We just listened to this a long time ago. Here, let's get something else. There, that's better. That sounds a lot better. More excitement. Oh, Azuma losing the potion and jumping into the zombie. Just was a little spooked right there. Alright, if there was a time for Yuka to push, this is the time. Yuka really has to push this in order to get that flag plant settled. Because we've got 2 zones to make up and a little over 4 minutes to do it. And on Aria, that's going to be a tough push to make. Even normally. Yuka's having a good run back, though. Getting a little spooked by this dragon, having to back off a little bit, but made the good correction. Unfortunately, I think skipping Snowbro is not the way to go. Snowbro is really useful for that death metal fight, and Yuka just not taking it might cost a lot. Doing a good job handling these swarms, though, in the 1-3 hallway. I'm just going to head straight for that exit there. So going to take that crown, going to take that compass. Or not going to take that compass. We know what Zone 4 layouts look like anyway, so it's not a huge deal. Oh, Azuma getting spooked by Skeleton, jumping straight in. That's going to be back for him. Yuka doing a good job. Oh, we've got Dancepad shenanigans from Yuka's side. Unfortunately, the Posman who got brought up jumped straight into the 1-4 exit, 1-3 exit though, and into death metal. So with no real equipment to do this death metal fight fast, it's going to be a little bit scary. Handling the evil eyes well, thankfully. We've got a mage on the field, and unfortunately bopping the wall! Not expecting that bounce trap and bopping the wall! Oh! And I think that's unfortunately going to do it with only roughly 2.5 minutes left. I'm not even sure if there's enough time to be able to plant the flag at this point. Yuka's definitely going to try his hardest, but unfortunately I do think this is over. Yeah, Azuma picking up that karate gi, but not looking like we're going to be able to extend that flag plant on Azuma's side. Yuka going to try and push as hard as he can, probably just finish this out. We got a couple minutes. And hey, they signed up for this, and they knew what they were getting into for suffering. We're going to watch the suffering. Both of them actually missing a beat at the same time there. So we've had same beat exit, and now we've had same beat death. Alright, Yuka managed to clear out that exit room quickly. Got the gold. Gotta quickly go grab this gi. Still got about a minute and a half. Oh, losing the potion right there. Had a double tap. Both of them in the conjure at the same time, but Yuka dying to a missed beat. And it looks like Yuka's going to go ahead and throw in the towel with a dot F right there. So with that, Azuma's going to take the second loot right there and win the match 2-0. So good job to both racers. Oh, did Yuka make it to 2-2? You said flag plant was in 2-2. Well, even still, Azuma did make it to 2-3, so Azuma still wins this out. But GG's to both racers. Great job attempting this. This is not an easy thing to do at all. So, really enjoyed casting this. A nice change of pace from the usual race. A little bit more of a strategic race. Because you want to play safe in this kind of situation. Especially with such an unusual control scheme. But definitely was worth watching. Yeah, no problem, Yuka. Well, anyways, that's going to do it for me, at least on this. So I'm going to switch over here because what we're actually going to do now is I'm actually going to set up for my dance game stuff, and we will set up for Pump in just a bit. So I'm going to go turn the other computer on, get Pump set up. So give me like 5 to 10 minutes to get set up, and we will be right back with some Pump. So hang tight, everyone.